Global markets in turmoil, U.S. tariff delays and OPEC plus output hike impact. Imagine waking up to a world where trade wars are the new normal, and the global economy is held hostage by the whims of a few powerful nations. This is the harsh reality we're facing today, as the United States and other countries engage in a high-stakes game of tariff tit-for-tat. But here's where it gets really interesting. The latest developments in the U.S.-China trade saga have left investors and analysts scratching their heads, wondering what's next for the global economy. The recent announcement by U.S. officials that tariffs on certain countries would be delayed, but with scant details on the changes, has sparked confusion and uncertainty in Asian stock markets. As a result, stocks have slipped, and oil prices have skidded, leaving many to wonder if this is the beginning of a long and painful trade war. And this is the part most people miss: the fact that the U.S. is close to finalizing several trade agreements, which could potentially ease tensions, but the lack of clarity on the details has left everyone on edge. The situation is further complicated by the fact that the U.S. has flagged August 1st as the deadline for tariffs on some countries, with higher rates set to take effect on that date. But what does this mean for the average investor, and how can they navigate these treacherous waters? To understand the implications, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The U.S.-China trade war has been simmering for months, with both sides engaging in a series of escalating tariffs and counter-tariffs. The latest developments have added a new layer of complexity to the situation, with the U.S. threatening to impose higher tariffs on countries that don't comply with its demands. But here's the thing: the U.S. is not just targeting China, it's also going after other countries, including those in the EU, India, and Japan. This has sparked fears of a global trade war, which could have far-reaching consequences for the economy. So, what can we expect next? Will the U.S. and China reach a deal, or will the trade war escalate further? And what about the other countries caught in the crossfire? These are the questions on everyone's mind, and the answers are far from clear. But one thing is certain: the global economy is at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the coming weeks and months will have a profound impact on the future of trade and commerce. As we navigate this complex and ever-changing landscape, it's essential to stay informed and up-to-date on the latest developments. So, let's dive deeper into the story and explore the implications of the U.S. tariff policy on the global economy. The news that the U.S. is close to finalizing several trade agreements has sparked hopes of a potential easing of tensions, but the lack of clarity on the details has left many wondering what this means for the future of trade. The fact that the U.S. has flagged August 1st as the deadline for tariffs on some countries has added to the uncertainty, with higher rates set to take effect on that date. But what about the countries that are not on the list? Will they be spared, or will they face the same fate as those on the list? These are the questions that are on everyone's mind, and the answers are far from clear. As we wait with bated breath for the next development in the U.S.-China trade saga, one thing is certain: the global economy is in for a wild ride. So, buckle up and stay tuned for further updates on this developing story. But here's the question: what do you think about the U.S. tariff policy, and how do you think it will impact the global economy? Do you think the U.S. is right to take a tough stance on trade, or do you think it's a mistake that will have far-reaching consequences? Let us know in the comments below. And this is the part where we ask, what's your take on the situation? Do you think the U.S. will eventually reach a deal with China, or will the trade war escalate further? Share your thoughts and opinions, and let's get the conversation started.